children. Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? Welcome back to our online class. Today is 30th December 2020, Thursday. Wednesday, right? Oh, yes. Let's start our lesson, Nutrition in Plants, Part 2. Let's see what happens when there is no light for the plant. Absence of light. Does the plant grow properly? No, you're right. It doesn't grow normally. Absence of light refers to darkness, the physical condition of absence of light. Absence of light may also refer to aphotic zone, aphotic. What is this aphotic zone, children? The portion of lake or ocean where there is little or no sunshine at all. At night or in the absence of light, what happens? Photosynthesis in plants stops and respiration is the dominant process. What happens when there is no light in the dark or in the night? Photosynthesis stops immediately and respiration takes its major part, dominant wins. The plant uses energy from the glucose it produced for growth and other metabolic processes. Light is one of the requirements for photosynthesis. When a part of leaf is covered from both upper and lower side with a black paper strip. Now we are doing this experiment here. Green leaf from any plant, cover it with the upper part and lower part with black paper strip. Light will not reach that to the covered part, isn't it? It will not get exposed to light. What happens then? Presence of starch in the leaf, which can be detected by performing iodine test. This is a experiment for iodine test. It indicates occurrence of photosynthesis. Typically, most plants will need a minimum of 6 to 8 hours of light each day, sometimes bright, sometimes indirect. Yet some will only thrive if you are getting 10 or up to 14 hours of light. Some really shade loving plants will even do fine if they only get 3 to 4 hours of sunlight. Plants growth is almost as good if you are using fluorescent bulbs alone, especially if only foliage house plants are grown. But incandescent bulbs, besides affecting flowering, cast a light that gives plants a warmer, more pleasant appearance. Light is the main source of energy for all living organisms. Understood? Even we need light, sunlight. Why? For the growth of vitamin D in our body. Plants, even plants need it every time for the growth of the leaf. It doesn't grow properly when we wrap the leaf with a black paper. Plants, the main sustainers of leaf, are crucial in the conversion processes and need light for photosynthesis that enables them to make their own food and food for others. And perhaps more importantly, photosynthesis produces oxygen too. According to the see the diagram on the board on our computer screens. In the roots, what do they get from the soil? Nutrients, the water and the nutrients. Whereas on the leaf, sugar is present, carbon dioxide. It gives out oxygen to us and takes in carbon dioxide from us human beings. Photosynthesis stem is the main part of the plant. Roots are in the soil. They absorb water and mineral salts. Carbon dioxide and oxygen. Solar energy means the energy from the sun, the sun rays which fall on the leaf. Got it, children? Do all plants produce starch? Foods that have a lot of starch include grains like rice and wheat, corn and potatoes. Our body can't make starch. Why like that? Only plants make starch. Okay. Plants produce starch by first converting glucose 1 phosphate to ADP glucose using the enzyme glucose 1 phosphate adenylyl transferase. This step requires energy in the form of ATP. Starch is insoluble, non-structurable carbohydrate composed of alpha glucose polymers. It is synthesized by plants and algae to store energy in a dense, osmotically inert form. Plants make and store temporary supplies of starch in their leaves, which they use during the night when there is no light available for photosynthesis. Starch is only found in plants. Got it? Not in animals. Starch can be found in thousands of plant species where its main function is energy storage for the plant. High concentration, thus, where is it found? It is found in the roots, under the ground, bulbs, seeds, and tubers of the plant. All staple food, wheat, corn, rice, and potatoes, cassava, etc., are starch. Photosynthesis. What is this? We are studying from a long time, from second or third, fourth class, isn't it? Photosynthesis is the word you come across from long time. Okay, children, it is necessary for us? No, it is necessary for the green plants. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants produce their own food. Green plants primarily convert energy from the sun's light into usable chemical energy. It houses glucose, which plants use for food. The presence of starch in a leaf is reliable evidence of photosynthesis. That's because starch formation requires photosynthesis. You see, plants need energy to grow and grow and grow. They use energy from sunlight to make a simple sugar glucose. Now you see the diagram of starch storage in potato plant, isn't it? Glucose is made in leaves by photosynthesis. Glucose is converted to glucose 1 phosphate. Some glucose is used for energy by shoots and young leaves or stored in fruit. Some glucose is transported to the roots. An enzyme called phosphorylase joins these molecules to produce starch. What is Cuscuta? It is a total shoot parasite of many plants, lives on the body of plants, so it is ectoparasite, a parasite that lives on the surface of the host organism. Cuscuta is an example of parasite. It takes shelter in a host cell. It's dependent on food for other organism. Got it? Hostoreum, highly modified stem or root of a parasitic plant or specialized branch or tube originating from a hair-like pigment filament hyphae of a fungus. The hostoreum penetrates the tissues of host and absorbs nutrients and the water. A hostoreum is formed when a specialized fungal hyphae penetrates the plant cell walls and expands inside the cell. However, the hostoreum is not located directly in plant cell cytoplasm. Instead, it is surrounded by extrahostoreal membrane, a thickened derivative of the plant cell membrane, plant cell plasma membrane. Now, where is hostoreal roots present? It is present in Zemaes, cactus, Cuscuta, and Monotropa. Got it? The root is an underground part of the plant which absorbs water and minerals from the soil and anchors the plant firmly. Sucking or hostoreal roots. These roots are parasitic plants. What is this Cuscuta? Cuscuta. To take water and nutrients from their host plant, the Cuscuta develop a specialized absorptive organ called the hostoreum, which is divided into upper hostoreum and external to the host and endophyte inside the host. Organisms that grow and feed on dead decaying plant are called dead decaying plants and animals both. What are those organisms called, children? Saprophytes. Example of it is fungi. Autotrophs are the organisms that synthesize their food on their own. They consume food synthesized by other plants. Decomposers are the organisms which feed on the dead or decaying organisms. So they carry out the natural process of decomposition when plants and animals are dead. Got it? Common fungi are mushroom, bread mold, and insectivorous plants. A new term is coming here. What are these? The plants which derive some of their nutrients from trapping and consuming animals or protozoans, also known as carnivorous plants. They appear adapted to grow in places where the soil is thin and poor in nutrients, especially in nitrogen, such as acidic bags and rock outcropping. Insectivorous plants mainly grow in humid wildernesses and bogs where plenty of sunlight and moisture can be found. However, since nutrients are scarce in the soil, they are less in the soil. They capture the insects to supplement the nutrients that they tend to. Class for today by taking the homework. Note down. First one, which experiment shows the presence of starch? Second one, what are saprophytes? Got it, children? Submit me till 5 in the evening. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. See you in next class. Stay home, stay safe.